So anyway, sorry about not posting any videos lately. I had a bit of a cold last week. There was a bit of an illness going around our office, and me and just about everybody else in there seem to have got it. So anyway, let's get back into the saddle and let's play another ST game. Grav. Not really one of the most awe-inspiring names in all the world. This is one of those one-man band style games from Martin Brownlow, which was an exclusive for the Atari ST as far as I know. I have no idea what year it was actually made in, as it was a public domain release, which sort of makes up for some of its shortcomings. The game is a simple shooter where you control a spaceship in one of 3 levels, all of which are selectable from the start. In each you have to achieve a few specific objectives before completing the level. It usually involves getting to the top of the stage and blasting all the enemies along the way, which can be done via your standard guns or your bombs. As you'd expect from a game made by a singular person, the visuals are functional. They are certainly nothing to write home about, with the enemy guns being nothing more than grey triangles. The best visuals in the game, in my opinion, are the splash effects of the explosions, as they sort of explode all over the screen. Now, if you ever played the arcade classic Asteroids or the excellent Stardust on the Atari ST, then you'll know just how the craft controls, as the game has the same floaty physics. If you thrust the ship in a direction, then it requires an equal amount of thrust in the opposite direction in order to make this craft stationary. The problem is that unlike Asteroids where you're in an open space, there are walls which will kill you virtually everywhere, and often you have to navigate your ship through these tight areas. Ultimately, it does come across as frustration as you don't always feel like you're in complete control of the spaceship. You do long for a more traditional control setup and just have the game litter itself with more enemies in order to enhance the challenge. My advice to playing this is to simply move as slowly as possible. If you go too fast, you will certainly not be able to stop yourself from hitting the impending wall. You are also given a limited amount of fuel, so thrusting too much will cause you to virtually fail the level. It won't fail you right away, but if you've got no ability to move your craft anywhere, then you're almost certainly going to hit a wall. I appreciate that most indie games are designed to be hard, however I like difficult games which have a tight control scheme, and aren't difficult because of their hampering controls. Grav isn't really a shooter that I would want to play again. It doesn't really have any particular flair, and it's a short game overall. There is a sequel, I've yet to play it, but for the moment I'm just going to have a few rounds of this, just to show you how much I'm really bad at this. To be honest, I really struggle to complete any of the levels, even in the basic training one. It's quite a frustrating one, to say the least.